Good morning, class. Standard 8, Eastern Civics. Today, topic from Civics, chapter The Salient Features of Our Constitution 1. In that, we will talk about single citizenship, universal adult franchise, fundamental rights, and fundamental duties. Every Indians, we need our freedom. Everyone has right. As the first chapter we see in our constitutions, our constitution provide so many freedoms to speech, express yourself, have a family. Same thing in this constitution also adapted. You have to follow each and every citizen have to follow the fundamental right as well as fundamental duties. Constitution have made, we the people are made. You have to follow the fundamental rights, fundamental duties also. So you should not involve in violence. So likewise, the first will say the single citizenship. Our constitution provides single citizen despite the federal structure. That means single citizen, whichever state you are born, whichever across the India, whichever state you are born, you are the citizen of India. You can move anywhere. Single citizen means Indians cannot be citizen of another country. Citizen of other countries cannot take Indian citizenship. That means our constitution says if you have two passports, one is other country, one is India, you cannot hold two passports. So like example, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, the former Prime Minister's wife, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi's wife Sonia Gandhi, she came from Italy and he got married to Sonia Gandhi. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi made it. So that was the citizenship. She has to surrender one passport, their countries. If you want a Indian citizen, we have to hold only one passport, cannot to hold two passport. The other countries, US like they have two citizenship. Suppose, for example, what do you call Los Angeles? It is in the USA. The USA before the Los Angeles, that is a state. In that state, you have to get one passport, that state citizens. Then they have to take another passport, US citizenship passport. There is a two passport they have to obtain. Not like India. India is having only single citizenship meanings. Whichever state you are born across the India, you are called Indian citizen only. The citizenship in India is common to all people of various states and territories. In India, all citizens, irrespective of the state in which they are born or reside, enjoy the same political and civil rights, and no discrimination is made between them except in cases of Jammu and Kashmir, etc. Some few countries like Sikkim, if you go, foreigners not allowed. Inside other state, people cannot buy the property in Sikkim state. Same as well as if you go to JNK, Jammu and Kashmir, other state people cannot buy the property. Now, Article 370 they are revoked, implemented. Now you can move around. Any citizen can buy and build a house there. That is permitted from the government of India. Single citizen is different from double citizens, in which a person is concurrently regarded as a citizen of more than one state under the laws of those states. Now, universal adult franchise, that means as I told you last chapter, those children, those who have attained above 18 years, they will have a right to vote. That is called universal adult franchise. They have voting right. When you are reaching 18 years and above, you are eligible to cast your vote. That is called universal adult franchise. Our constitution has granted universal adult franchise or universal suffrage. It means that all Indian citizens who have attained the age of 18 years or above have the right to vote irrespective of their caste, color, region, religion, etc. It is done through a system of joint electorate, that is, all citizens vote as Indians, not as a belonging to separate communities. It fulfills the meanings of democracy, which says government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is why our constitution says, we the people, we rule the people, we rule the country, no outsiders. Like Britishers ruled 2 centuries, they ruled us. They're gone. Now you got freedom, you have our constitutions, own constitutions. Now, fundamental rights. Regarding fundamental, this is the important. At United Nations organization, they'll say the human rights. Now we are calling in India, our constitution given the fundamental rights. Article 19, 20, 21 as per the constitutions. That is called fundamental right to every citizen of this country. Fundamental rights are incorporated in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. These are an integral part of the Constitution. These rights are basic freedoms which are essential for individuals' all-around development. All fundamental rights are justiciable, that is, are legally enforceable in a court of law. Our Constitution grants 7 rights: right to equality, right to freedoms, right against exploitations, right of freedom or religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies, right to education. This right as fundamental rights came into force on April 2010 with effect of insertion of new Article 21A by the 86th Amendment Act 2002. So you have freedom, you have right to educate, right to employ, right to buy property, right to a family. These are the fundamental rights. Now, fundamental duties. What is the fundamental duties? What should you follow as per the constitutions? You cannot call anyone, discriminate any by calling religious, by calling by color, by calling by caste. We should not. That is a criminal procedure will be followed. Those who are talking about that caste, religions, they shouldn't. We are Indians. We are the citizen of India. There is no separate law for any religion or any caste. Everyone is same. The fundamental duties were added by the 42nd Amendment Act as right and duties to hand in hand. These were added to increase our moral and national responsibilities. It shall be the duty of every citizen to abide by these duties. Like a directive principle, these are not justiciable. These duties are originally 10 in number, but one duty was added after the 86th Amendment Act in 2002. Now there are 11 fundamental duties in total. The fundamental duties are constant reminder to the citizen that they have duties in building up a free, healthy, and responsible society. So these things you have to do, fundamental duties. Now we'll talk to a little bit expanding fundamental rights. What are your fundamental rights? Right to equalities. Everyone should equal. There is no low or high. Everyone this. Equality before law. Equality of opportunity regarding employment. Prohibitions of discriminations. Abolition of untouchability. Abolition of titles. There is no king, no throne, no heredities. Only single. There is nothing is no title. I am a king of family. I am king family. I can do. No, you cannot have. Prohibition of discriminations. That means you are discriminating any low class, high class, you are scheduled class, you are scheduled tribe, you are Hindu, Muslim, not like that. We cannot discriminate these. Next, right to freedom. What is the freedom? What is your freedom? Let me explain. Freedom of speech and expression. You can express yourself. Suppose the government is not favoring the people requirement, you have right to protest. Normally you see in front of the stadium, in the road, they're holding the flag and protesting against some organization, some against the government, the ministry. You have right to express yourself. Freedom to assemble in form of unions peacefully. Freedom to move freely within the territory of India. We can move across the India from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. You can freely, nobody can ask question. Freedom to reside in any part of India. We can live anywhere in this country. Freedom to practice any profession or occupations. We can anywhere work. Any state we can go and work. Government employer, state employer, private. Whichever the state you like, we got a job opportunity, we can serve. We can go and stay there. Nobody can question. Next, right against exploitations. That means child labor, exploitation, child labor like a bricks factories, like a mines. So under the 14 years of age of children are working there. You can explore. You cannot explore them. Prohibition of traffic in human beings. Traffic means kidnapping children and doing the bond labor type. Prohibition of forced labor. So as I told you, under the tea stall shop, small boys carrying the tea and do the work and washing the plate. This and all is not permitted. Prohibition of children's employment in hazardous working conditions. The bad conditions like a bricks factory, mine factory, garment factory, even cement factories. These also under privileged children's below 14 years of age. They cannot put as an employee. Next, right to freedom of religion. You can worship any god as you like. Nobody can stop your worship. Go to this temple, you go to this church, go to this mosque. No, whichever you believe, you can go for that. That is your choice. Choice is yours. Freedom to propagate and profess any religion. Freedom to establish and maintain religious institutions. Freedom to manage religious affairs. Freedom from attendance at religious instruction in certain educational institutions. Cultural and educational rights. What culture you follow and educational rights you have. Protection of language, scriptures and cultures of minorities. freedom to minority to establish and administer educational institutions. Nowadays, minority institution, educational institution is there. They may go and study there free of cost. Like everywhere, quota is there. They can go. Empowers. Now, next I will come to the right to constitutional remedies. What is the remedies of which favor to every citizens? Empowers the citizens to move a court if any right has been denied. Suppose any persons want to build a house, the authority is not giving permission to construct the house. So you can track them to the court straight away. You can go to file a case. This authority is not giving us permissions. Reason, they have to give explanation to the court. The court safeguards the citizens' fundamental rights by issuing various writs as such. Writ means order. The court, not somebody missing from the house, cannot be traceable. You can file a case that is my family member is missing from so-and-so date. Find out and produce. The court will issue order. Find out and produce the court within 24 hours. That type of order from the court. First one, the writ of mandamus. Second one, writ of habeas corpus. Writ of mandamus means we order. That means court or order, find out and produce the results. Now, writ of habeas corpus means any person is missing, not traceable, that case you can file habeas corpus, that purpose only. Writ of probations. Any people, you cannot detain any office without valid documents. You cannot sit at home, sit at any office. Suppose one fellow's got posting to my place, but I am got a posting order, but I am not moving from that office. The another person who want to relieve me, so I am not giving place to take my place. That is wrong, against the constitutions. Writ of certiorari. This also we command, we inject, we are issuing order. Why? Give explanations. That is means. Writ of quo warranto. This also this marks out we instructing you do the job. Court. These are the 5 writs given by the court. The authorities, they have to vacate. So let me explain this quo warranto. So every have fundamental remedies. We can go of the court and get order and instructing arresting authority. We cannot keep any person unwantedly in the police station or any jail. We cannot send it without any charges. And the person cannot be punished for same case. 2 punishment cannot be given. Suppose one have did murder case, the one court is given lifetime. And again same crime, other court is giving same punishment. Cannot. Any cases, one case they cannot give 2 punishments. Only 1 punishment will allowed. So let me talk about mandamus. What is a mandamus? In Latin it means we order. It is a command or an order from the superior court to a lower or an administrative authority to perform the certain duties. This is the mandamus. Habeas corpus, it means to have the body. By issuing such a writ, the High Court or Supreme Court can get body of any person released if it has been unlawfully detained by any person or group of persons or by the state, this writ it is thus a great safeguard for the personal freedom of a citizen. This is the meaning. Now, writ of provisions. The writ of provision as an order issued by the superior court to lower court to stop proceeding in a case which might be excess of jurisdictions of a lower court. That means you don't do it, you don't expand your leg. As I told you, Indranagar police station limit, that's all. Alsur police station cannot go on enter in the Indranagar court. So likewise, jurisdiction restriction is there. Now, writ of certiorari. This writ issued by the superior court to a judicial authority desiring to be informed of what is going on. Though it appears similar to the writ provision, there is a difference. A writ of provision is issued when certain proceedings are going on. The writ of certiorari is issued after the order has already been passed by the lower court. They cannot hold. They can go to the higher court and get justice. Now, quo warranto, it means by what order? It issued when a person has usurped any office, but any office is working and posted there. This writ prevents public officers from forcibly or wrongly holding a high public office. The writ make a right to constitutional remedy the most important and also made it an effective tool for the enforcement. Through presently only the Supreme Court and High Courts have the power to issue these writs. The Parliament can confer similar powers on other court. So these are the 5 writs issued by the court. They are the fundamental protectors. Next headings, I am come to right to education. Emphasizes free and compulsory education to children between 6 and 14 years of age as a fundamental right. The compulsory 6 to 14 years. Compulsory education, they have to give free educations. Any non-admitted child is to be admitted to an age appropriate class. It is the duty of appropriate governments, local bodies and parents to safeguard this right. Now I will come to the conclusions. Limitation on the right to freedom. This right sometimes it will be differ. You cannot claim any national emergency. Your right cannot be imposed. You cannot claim. You cannot go to the court. During national emergency, just remember this. When is national emergency, you cannot claim your right to freedoms. Certain restriction is there. Let me see. Limitation on right to freedom. First one, freedom to form association, not to indulge in illegal activities. So you can form association. There won't be any illegal activities. Freedom of speech, not to abuse, hurt or incite violence. You cannot abuse anyone. You cannot hurt any sentiments of the persons. Freedom to practice any profession. The person should be technically qualified. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of India cannot go against the laws of a particular territory. Freedom to move freely within the territory in India. Freedom to assemble peacefully without arms. So somebody is making a protest against anything, holding what you call stick, holding a knife, holding a pistol, something instrument having, That is not, you cannot take your hand. Peacefully you can protest without any instruments, without any items. Now, important of fundamental rights. Safeguard the individual from the tyranny of the executive, instill self-confidence, create fundamentals unity of India, help in the all-round development of the people, shield people from encroachments by the legislature. These are the fundamental rights importance. Now, fundamental duties. This is the most important. Every citizen must learn from when you're born till die. You have to follow. Each and everyone have to follow this. It is the duty of every citizen of India to abide the Constitution and to respect the national flag and national anthem. The national anthem play, you have to stand and salute the national flag. You cannot sit and do, and you cannot fold your leg in front of the national flag. The national anthem playing, we have to sing along with this national anthem and stand up. Cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. You have to remember the first who and all struggle for the freedoms to get freedom to India. You have to remember that. Uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so, like army, air force, navy, police, home guard, voluntary service, any national calamities, any war situations. You have to help the government and help the people. Promote harmony and a spirit of brotherhood amongst all people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional, or sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, value and preserve the heritage of our composite culture. You have to preserve the culture, ancient cultures. What are the things they have worn? Some state we can go to village people wear dhotis. Some people are wear langot type. Some people are wear shorts. So likewise, heritage cultures, they have to follow that, preserve it. Everyone have a right. Develop a scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of equity, inquiry and reforms. Safeguard public property and to observe violence. Suppose any strike is there, breaking the buses, burning the buses, breaking the residence houses, digging the road, cutting the tree. This all violence we should not take. To strive towards excellence in all aspects of individuals and collective activity so that the nations constantly rises to higher levels of endeavors and achievements. Whatever the countries our country develop, it will be world number one, number two, economically advanced, technologically advanced, education level advanced, scientifically we are advanced, medically we are advanced. Everyone to contribute to develop our nations. To provide opportunity for education by the parent, the guardian to his child, or a ward between the age of 6 to 14 years as a case may be. This also compulsory is coming out. So these are the fundamental duties you have to follow. So next class we will talking about the directive principle of the state and welfare. Say the constitutions, that is the salient feature of constitution of part 2. In that directive principle of policy, a directive principle of welfare state. Good morning, class. Stay safe, stay home.